All right, here we are. We're live. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the live stream. Let me get a quick audio and visual check. If you can see me okay, and if you can hear me okay, you already know the deal. Thank you all for tuning in today. We got a lot to talk about today, ladies and gents. Wow, we got a lot to talk about in this one. There's a lot. There's a lot. All right, perfect, guys. As you're coming in, do me a favor, smash up those likes. Thank you all for tuning in. When am I selling my house and cars to buy Bitcoin? So guys, I'm a massive hypocrite. I'll just get this out of the fucking way at the beginning. When Bitcoin was up at like 60k, I was 100% sure that if Bitcoin comes down to 20k, I would sell my house and buy Bitcoin with it. And I was like kind of saying it as a joke, but at the time I meant it. Obviously, I didn't end up doing that. Long story short, Sammy's a massive hypocrite. The reason I didn't sell the house is because my mother lives in it. And she really... I mean, it was a lot easier for me to say I'm going to sell the house to buy Bitcoin, because at the time I said that, I only owned the house for like 2 months. But when Bitcoin finally fell down to 20k, my mom was really quite well settled into the house, and I swear to God I considered it, but I just can't do that to my mom. You know, like we used to live off welfare in London, like literally government welfare, because my mom was a single mom, and we struggled for housing for a lot of my life. So yeah, I didn't end up selling the house. I couldn't do it, guys. I couldn't do it. But here we are anyway. I just thought we'd get that out of the way because someone was asking. Smash up the likes for that little story. I've got this little thing from Arthur Hayes. I wonder how many people here know about Arthur Hayes. If you do, let me know in the comments. We're gonna be talking a little bit about Arthur Hayes. We're going to be talking about someone help me out. Sam Bankman-Fried or Sam Bankman-Fried? How is it pronounced? We're going to be talking about SBF. We're going to be talking about Binance, CZ, the markets, your questions, analysis. And you know what? Let's just start off with the analysis. I don't want to waste any time. I see your questions already. It's Fried, okay. I see your questions already in the comments, but I'm going to get to them in a little bit. I'm not going to take too long here with the analysis, but obviously for those of you watching this on the recording, what's up? How you doing? For those of you tuning in live, how the fuck you doing? Welcome. All right, a little bit of a drop down to 14k. I think that's going to be our next area of support. I don't want you guys to be too worried about this, because even though this is a significant percentage drop, it's about another 20% drop, there is nothing that stopped Bitcoin from rising up between 14 to 17. So I can't expect anything to stop Bitcoin from falling down there. And of course, it was the same originally back in 2017. We just went straight up. And then when we were crashing down, it was 2 separate occasions we crashed down. Both times, actually nearly 3 occasions right here. 3 times here, we went all the way up and all the way down. And there were a few exceptions in between, like what happened here and like what happened here. But for the most part, the price just zips right between these 2 price levels. So what does that mean for the downside? I think quite clearly that means that you're probably going to be looking at a fairly quick drop down to these support areas. And everybody is saying this. Everybody and their grandmother is saying this. So I'm not convinced, guys. I'm really not convinced, but I'll get to that in a little bit. For now, I just want to talk about this core analysis. And guys, do me a favor, if you're excited for this live stream and all of that cool stuff, do me a favor, guys, and smash up those likes, because YouTube ain't pushing this out to as many people as I know want to watch it. So if you find these kind of videos useful, if you think this is a good time to be live streaming and you're glad that I'm on board for you, do me a favor, guys, just press that like button so that YouTube knows it needs to push this out to more of our viewers. But like I said, guys, I'm not going to be expecting any support until $14,000, purely because every time we ran up, most of the time we ran up, we went all the way up, and most of the time we fell down, we came all the way down. So this isn't scary. You know, when you start visualizing the markets more as these kind of like like from support to support to support, as opposed to from 17k down 20% to 14k. You know, when you kind of have that reframe mentally, it gets a lot harder to be scared of dropping down, and that's primarily going to be because you know, when we're looking at these kind of situations, you fuck's sakes, one sec, guys. When you're looking at these kind of situations, you're gonna have a more calm perspective, because it also means we can rise up fairly easily as well. One sec, guys. So I think that's something which is well worth keeping in mind as far as support levels go. Below 14k, I'm looking at 12. I've said all of this before, guys. If you're subscribed, I mean, this can't be new information. I'm looking at 12. I'm looking at 9. These are all. I mean, you know, there's so much going on at these price levels. I mean, this is old price areas. I mean, we haven't been here for a while, but there's so much going on down here if we kind of fail them. The thing is, guys, it's just too many people are calling for the same price levels, right? I mean, everybody knows that there isn't any real support between here and 14. You know, generally, if the market is actually going to drop, that would lead me to believe that actually we're going to drop a lot more, you know, because of the way this support area, the support areas here are constructed, or the ways they're not constructed, because they're not constructed in this range. So I feel like everyone kind of knows that. At the same time, there's a few things that are just really rubbing me the wrong way. Things like the fact that this was all timed pretty suspiciously. You know, I mean, this insolvency thing, you know, everyone's asking me my thoughts on the insolvency thing. I have a question. Why is no one talking about this? Why is no one talking about what I'm about to say? You know, this news, it isn't something that just happened overnight. You know, like, apparently, I think it was like a CoinDesk article that first spoke about this publicly. You know, the fact that FTX is allegedly insolvent. It's not a fact, but that FTX is allegedly insolvent and so on. That news could have dropped on any day. It just happened to be at the perfect time to construct a lower high. I mean, we all know that this market is fraught with market manipulation. All markets are. But that one, like, I don't know why no one's talking about it. Just a question. Just a question. I don't know. It's not really a question the way I phrased it, but, you know, it's just something I want to put out there. You know, at the same time, this is, you know, what we've seen in this space is pretty bad, and Bitcoin has held up fairly well. Bitcoin's still at 17k. You know, I've been discussing this with friends, and I've thought myself, Bitcoin really, after everything that's happened here, I think ought to be a little bit lower. Like, the fact that we've even held on this much is surprising. You know, like, we've just fallen below a market cycle low, and we're like, what is this? Like, 1.5% below that support area. Like, really not that far. Okay, we're 3% below. But I don't know. I just would have thought a slightly bigger dump. I don't know. You know, it can come. You know, it's not like this thing needs to start overnight. But I think that's something else to consider. The other key thing now is that if we do somehow start to rally up, it's going to be very clear that this area could act as resistance again. I think that a lot of people are going to be interested in taking on short positions at that range and selling Bitcoin and offloading and getting an exit if the market gives that to us. I think that that's definitely what could happen. And I also think that we're in capitulation. I really do. I really do think that we're in capitulation right now. I have a lot that I've seen to point towards that, and that's something else that I think is at play in this market right now. It really, I was saying in my team chat today, the Four Flies VIP team, it just feels like Satan just came and just fucking turned up the heat today. You know, just turned on the flames. That's how it feels in crypto today. You know, because things like Celsius, Luna, them going down, that was a big deal. But I don't know. I think every exchange, every crypto project has controversy about it, and, you know, people believing that they're illegitimate and that they're doing shady things. But FTX was a shock. I mean, Luna, Celsius, they were a shock too, but FTX was a fucking shock. You know, and this is kind of going backwards and forwards right now. So I don't know. Yeah, just dipping below 17 again, back into that 16k range now. So I mean, that trapdoor has opened. There's a lot of support down below, you know, in the bottom half of this 10k range, but there's nothing really here. Solana is apparently doing pretty bad as well. I think there's some news of a lot of Solana being dumped into the market relatively soon. You know, I mean, coins like this, I was very vocal about that. I mean, probably, you know, are going to suffer a lot in a bear market. And I got a lot of flack for it. You know, I was specifically calling out Solana, Matic. Let's take a look at what's up with Matic. I haven't seen Matic in a while. Like, I was specifically talking about these kind of... But Matic's actually doing pretty well. Matic's doing pretty well, actually. I was calling Matic out around over here. Got a lot of hate for it. I don't remember where I was getting the hate for Solana. It was probably the whole way down. You know, I've just been very vocal about how you just can't trust projects like this. Like, it doesn't matter how good they seem. They don't. I don't know. I don't look at the tech, and I think if I did look at the tech, I might be convinced that these are kind of good projects, because ultimately, these guys are good at bluffing. You know, like, these guys are good at what they do in terms of getting people hyped up for things that I feel most people don't even fully understand. That's why I kind of tend to stay out of this stuff. And, you know, so from a fundamental perspective, I don't think any altcoin is ever strong, aside from Ethereum. You know, Ethereum and, I don't know, maybe USDT, just because it stood the test of time, and a couple others. But yeah, I mean, things like Solana, I don't know. So fundamentally, not great. Technically, fuck me, guys. Technically, this is bad. I mean, we've got this right here, and nothing until $5. There's nothing on this chart. No bounce zones whatsoever. So I think if we lose this, it's going to turn into something. Alameda, the investment firm owned by SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. Thank you very much. Robert says it's freed, but now pronounced fried. That's funny. You know, he owned Alameda, and they hold they still hold, I think, a lot of Solana, but I'm pretty sure they announced that they're going to start selling it. So there's just widespread extreme selling pressure in the market, and we're definitely seeing the brunt of that. You know, kind of going towards the bulk of that, I should say, going towards Bitcoin at the moment. A little bit of a retracement for the S&P 500, while the dollar is having a bit of a green day as well. And this is important. This is one thing that I haven't spoken about yet, and it is that because the dollar has dropped down by a fair bit, you know, over the last, how long is this? Over the last week, basically. The dollar has dropped down by a good amount. It might be due for a bit of a retracement before potentially continuing down. I don't know if it's going to continue down, but if it does continue down, it is quite likely, I think, that the dollar has a little bit of a retracement. And this is a big deal because the dollar was already dropping while Bitcoin was dropping. And that is generally, like, the dollar going down is generally something that we would expect to see, resulting in Bitcoin going up. But that didn't happen, right? So what we had was a situation where something that should have helped the market respond in a bullish way didn't do anything. And now that it's switched and it's become something that should help the market move down, it might just be turning up the heat. So when you get things that generally are bullish that stop being bullish, and things that generally are bearish that become extremely bearish, and you don't have support for thousands of dollars more until you drop further by thousands of dollars. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed thing, guys, but what kind of conclusion am I supposed to draw as a technical analyst? What am I supposed to see here? If there's nothing between here, and we've already fallen below, and all of these things just aren't looking great, how can I draw a bullish conclusion with this analysis? That's like, help me out here, guys. I don't see it. There are reasons to be suspicious, and this is why I'm glad I'm not in a trade right now. You know, like I wouldn't want to be trading this. A lot of people have lost a lot of money. I took 2 disgusting degen trades today. Thankfully, didn't lose money, and I actually made a bit of money, but I had to clock out because that was completely unnecessary. I shouldn't have been trading today. And I honestly, I think I got lucky just being able to close those out. Not a good idea, and obviously I'm super comfortable saying this publicly to you guys. Well, it's embarrassing obviously, but I'm okay with saying it publicly to you guys because that's what we do on this channel, guys. When I'm winning, you know, I'm pretty clear about it, but when I'm losing, I'm pretty clear about it too, ladies and gents. That's what you get on this channel, a pretty spectacular level of transparency. It happens. I'm a trader. You're probably a trader. You know how it is, bro. It happens. It happens. Let's go through a couple of your questions. Drop your questions in the comments by writing my name, so the @ symbol followed by Sammy Loyal -4flies. When you punch that in, it's going to highlight your comment for me in orange, and I have a much higher chance of reading it. I'm going to start from the top, answer a couple of your questions, and then I want to go take a look at this article from Arthur Hayes discussing some of what's going on from his perspective. This was published today. Meanwhile, guys, I think it's important to have a discussion about the exchanges that we're using, and I don't just want to make this an exchange plug, although you already know where this is going. Binance has just announced earlier today that, and you guys know me, I don't like Binance, but anyway, they're cool. They're doing really good stuff. They announced that they're going to be having much more transparency of their funds to prove to the crypto community that they have enough in the event that everyone wants to withdraw money. You know, the way that banks run generally is there might be $100 million in deposits going to a bank, but the bank would only hold $20 million of cash. And the hope is that if there's a sudden mass increase in demand for people to withdraw their money from the bank, hopefully that amount doesn't exceed 20 million, and if it does, people wouldn't get their money out. So if you want to know what that looks like, ask the Lebanese, ask the Greek, ask any number of other countries that have been decimated by banking crises, including the UK and United States. Very common. And that's what happened to FTX. Potentially, it's not confirmed yet, but guys, I don't know what other conclusion you can draw. I'm not saying that's what's happened, but that's just what it looks like. And Binance is trying to be more transparent about it. Bybit, I know you're watching this. I want you to do the same. We need it. We need it. I'm saying it right now. I've been on Bybit for years, and one of the reasons I'm quite confident in Bybit is simply because they've stood that test of time. FTX, fairly new. Solana, fairly new. I'm sorry, not Solana. Luna, fairly new. Also Solana. Celsius, fairly new. It's the things that stand the test of time and really get rocked, although I've never seen Bybit get rocked anyway. It's the things that really get rocked and stand the test of time that make me feel confident about where I'm putting my money. And I think that's really, really important. You know, it's people are not necessarily talking about this at the moment, but anyone with good sums of money should start to be concerned about this, because we're seeing this happen way too fucking much, guys, and it's not good. So a little bit of public pressure right here, I think, would go a long way. So I'm putting my bulls out on the line. Bybit, you're my friends. I love you very much, but let's see something impressive. I think that would be great. Nonetheless, I'm still very happy trading on Bybit and calling this my primary exchange. And I want to let you guys know about something crazy that Bybit has just announced. If I head on over to the rewards hub, I hope it shows. I don't know if it will. Yeah, right here, $30,000. Just fucking go. Just go get your money, guys. What the fuck? $30,000 as a reward for signing up to Bybit. If you're wondering how they can afford this stuff, go look at the requirements to get it. I saw this and I was like, what the fuck are they thinking? But this is legit, and people are getting these bonuses. So obviously it's going to be pretty hard to get this one. You've got to deposit over $250,000, and trade over $150 million in volume. That's after leverage is applied. So it's not that bad, but you still got to trade quite a bit and pass level 1 verification, which if you're depositing this much money, you probably would have no problem doing. So this is actually like fairly, I mean, speaking to the people that just have a lot of cash to dump on the exchange right now, you know, this is fairly easy to achieve. Obviously the other bonuses are much easier to achieve, you know, super achievable for the other ones, but you know, 20k bonus here, I'm sorry, $800 bonus, my bad, with a 20k deposit. So yeah, check them out, guys. They're worth checking out. Lots of amazing cash bonuses. They scale, right? So it's not like 30k is the only offer. If you don't have a fucking casual $250,000 to deposit on the exchange, that's okay, because they've got other offers right here, which are worth checking out. I mean, now is a good time, as I've said before, to have a bit of extra cash for free that you can trade with on these exchanges. And once you get your bonus, you don't need to keep your funds on the exchange. You can withdraw it and you can start trading with the bonus that you got. Your money will be risk-free. So I think that's important to keep in mind. Bitcoin's setting new lows right now. Yeah, look at that. Right here, 16.8. I mean, there's nothing to read into with this price action. Like, even if Bitcoin kind of pauses, it doesn't really matter what's happening on these very short time frames. Ultimately, we lost our support level, right? So yeah, this is a new low right here. We set that low about, I don't know, 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago. What am I talking about? Maybe like 1 hour ago, I don't even know. And yeah, I'm in a weird time zone. so that's why I didn't get the timing there properly. But anyway, let me go through your questions as we're watching this chart right here. Solana might be done. FTX going to start a chain reaction. They generally do start chain reactions, yeah. You know, when something like this happens, when it rains, it pours, kind of thing. Can I see the funding rates? I'll take a look at them a little bit later. My thoughts on the FTX situation. So I've already spoken about this a fair bit now, but it's just some crazy shit that's going on, and I don't know. I never used FTX. I didn't necessarily think they were bad players. I like Bybit, you know, and for me to go somewhere else, it would have to be very compelling, you know. Like I would really need to feel like there's a good reason to even look elsewhere, you know, which is why you guys barely see me talking about other exchanges, right? BitGet is the only other one that I've been highlighting to you guys, and it's because they're giving such amazing bonuses that you can't really get anywhere else in terms of how easy it is to get, plus the KYC VPN thing, you know, the fact that you don't need to do KYC, the fact that you don't need a VPN, and you can still get these bonuses and stuff, you know, that's the kind of thing that makes it compelling. I never looked at FTX, you know. I mean, I knew they existed. A bunch of VIP members within my VIP group, they were on FTX, and that's scary, you know. I don't like seeing that to my own, you know, to my own guys and girls. But yeah, I mean, you know, this is why I've said this a million times. This is why you don't keep all your money on exchanges and you spread it out across multiple different exchanges and accounts. It's just responsibility, guys. Fuck's sakes. I mean, I don't even feel bad for people that are getting screwed like this right now. I mean, I do, obviously, but how can you, man? Like, I mean, you know, you just got to be responsible with your money. Ultimately, this is what it comes down to. I mean, if you're not responsible with your money, like, can you really feel sorry for someone like that? I don't know. I know it's not the most loving approach. It's definitely not the most PR friendly approach, but that's not what we're here for. You guys know the deal. We're keeping it real on this channel. Thank you all so much for smashing up those likes as you're coming in, by the way. See what else we have here in the comments. CZ is the new Elon Musk of the crypto world. Absolutely he is. He's becoming a little bit of a local hero, isn't he? Makes you wonder. Nobody talking about it says something. I don't know what. I forgot what that was talking about. I'm sorry. I'm reading the comment section pretty late. The next level of support, yeah, I'm looking at 14k. Can you let me know what you think on USDT? It looks like it could be losing its peg. Interesting. Yeah, so this is the thing, is that you know, you queue the USDT FUD now, right? Like USDT has had so many little instances of drama. Look at that. This is what people are freaking out about. Look at that 7-day chart. But it's still at $1. Do you see what I mean? Like, the thing about this USDT chart, I mean, people that are worried about this, I wonder if they actually like know what they're looking at here. It's barely fluctuating. Like, the amount of times I've heard USDT FUD and then I looked at USDT and it's still at fucking $1. Like, this doesn't get scary in my opinion unless like look at this. This is a month ago. I mean, I'm sorry, this is, when was this? This was the 1st of November. Today we dropped, I mean, we're not even dropping down by 1% and people are getting scared. There was an instance where it really dropped. Look at this. It really dropped earlier this year and it still didn't drop by 1%. I'm just saying, guys, like, is there really a need to be scared? USDT dropped as low. Look at this. Dropped as low as 92 cents back in April of 2017, which is roughly when I joined the crypto space. 92 cents. And even that didn't mark the death of USDT. And look at all this shit that's happened to USDT since then, just like in terms of fear with the news. And what was it? Was it the SEC or some other corrupt US government institution that was trying to investigate them? You know, there was a bunch of crazy shit going on, and USDT withstood all of that. And now it's coming back. You know, this fear of USDT collapsing. Look, I can understand why people are scared of it, and I'm not saying that this is a safe place to keep money. I've always said for the longest time, if you want to get out of the crypto market, consider going into real currency, not a crypto stablecoin. You know, obviously that's going to be easier or more difficult depending on who you are and how much volume you have, and if you know OTC desks, and if you're comfortable you know, sending your money back into your bank account, or if you can even do that in the first place, or there's a million different things that's going to make this different for you. But generally, you know, stable coins and crypto are a nice thing for convenience, but I don't think they're the most sensible thing to use overall. So I don't like to depend on them. You know, if I want to lock in my USD or my GBP or my euros or whatever fiat currency, I'm just going to go straight into that currency for real. You know, like, to me, it's an obvious, you know, and then you start asking, okay, well, I don't know how. And if that's the question, then you're gonna have the initiative to solve that, depending on how big of a problem this is to you. You know, that's basically what it comes down to as far as I'm concerned, guys. You know, if this is an important question for you to consider, then you're gonna figure it out. You know, and generally you're gonna, if you still don't know and this is an important thing for you, consider OTC. If you don't know what that means, it's time to go on a little bit of, you know, Google searching and learn a little bit about what's going on. It's not something that I can necessarily help anyone with unless they're based in the UK, because I have a very good connection in the UK. But if you're interested and you want to reach out, I'm very careful to not waste their time. So if you're serious, I'm going to need you to prove to me that you're serious, and then I can refer you to somebody. But it only works in the UK. Although there are other people all over, like Canada. I know has one particular pretty good player. There's obviously a bunch in the United States, and I can't speak for Asia and the other markets because I don't know them. But there are solutions everywhere, you know. So that's what you want to do, really, instead of going into stable coins. But am I worried about this stable coin? Hell no, absolutely not. Again, you just look at what happened back in 2017 and you compare it to what's happening right now. We haven't even dropped by 0.2%. You know, I mean, this is a very stable coin. I'm just not worried about USDT. Everybody wants to be worried about stuff like this, but I don't think that is a sensible thing at this stage in the market to be worried about. What are we thinking about CPI tomorrow? So this brings us back to the dollar. See, the dollar, if you watched one of my previous videos about the dollar, shout out to those of you who are subscribed and you've got that bell icon checked and all that beautiful stuff, you're going to know that I was saying every time generally that CPI data comes out, the dollar gets stronger. It gets stronger either directly after that CPI news or it gets stronger, you know, a few days after, but it generally gets stronger. So put it this way, we've had 3 days of moving down with one of the dollar's worst trading sessions in many years. And we've now potentially started a recovery, and that CPI data is going to be released shortly. I don't know directly what to make of it because I'm not an economist, but this is generally a pretty bullish setup for the dollar. And if the dollar is bullish, it's generally a bad thing for Bitcoin. So that leads me to believe that that's potentially another bearish factor being thrown into the mix today. And that's something that I'm going to be looking out for. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. I only invest in crypto, yeah. No stocks, no nothing. Bit of property, obviously, because of what I said at the beginning of the live stream. All right, that's been a good number of questions. Should I take some more questions, or should I start going through that Arthur Hayes article? I'm obviously going to go to questions again later on. Apparently, I made somebody 7 Ethereum tokens today. Congratulations, mate. What's that worth? About $7,000 now? What is that? 7 times 1,100. Here's me with my horrible math. How much did this guy make? This guy made $8,000. Congratulations, bro. 8K. Good day. It's a good day for you. Nice. Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about this drop that I said was highly likely, down to $1,000. I'm guessing that's what this guy is referencing. I was talking about Ethereum in one of the previous videos, and that analysis obviously was spot on. Very, very nice to see that following through quite clearly. That's not coming as a surprise, obviously. Yeah, let's see. What do you guys think? More questions or over to that article? There's just a lot of questions. I guess you guys want questions, but I want to go to the article. No one's actually directly answering the question, though. I wonder if we should go to questions again, or yeah, I'm gonna go over to the Arthur Hayes article, and I'll come back to questions in a little bit. This is interesting, and I was reading it, and then as I was reading it, I was like, I just need to live stream and read this, you know. So I'm gonna read this with you guys, and let's go through this, and let's share some thoughts on this. We'll come back to questions in a minute. This is huge. Obviously, Arthur Hayes is the guy that runs BitMEX, which was the biggest crypto derivatives exchange in the world back in 2018. Even 17, I believe, maybe even I don't know when they were running, when they launched. I think it might have been 16. But Arthur Hayes has become quite a figure in the space. Very, very notable guy. I'm not going to spend more time introducing him, but if you're in this space and you don't know this name, then you might benefit from doing a little bit of research tonight to understand a little bit more about the space that you're invested in, that you put your money in. I think it's important to do that. So let's take a look through this. Very, very interesting stuff. Arthur Hayes. I have no words. Just kidding. I actually have a few thousand for y'all. I asked a question on Twitter a few days ago, wondering who would be the Lehman Brothers of this crypto credit cycle. So these are the guys that really fucked up in 08. Many said it would be FTX, and I honestly laughed it off. I never believed they would go down, and yet here we are. The catalyst for their downfall is the same as it always is. A good business overextending themselves by gorging on cheap credit, collateralized by high and rising valuations of assets. This, can I highlight? Oh, I can't, I need to log in. This is such a big point here. Arthur Hayes mentioning that one of the key things that big company owners run into as a mistake is that when they're seeing rapid valuation rises of their company, it becomes very easy for them to borrow money. And because their valuations keep going up and everything is looking nice and positive and rosy, they can make a nice margin on the cheap credit they're getting and the other opportunities that come their way where they can throw money into various different places. It's kind of reminiscent of a pyramid scheme in a sense, something that's not sustainable unless the sun stays shining forever. So not necessarily like a pyramid scheme, because those are more guaranteed to fail. These are also kind of guaranteed to fail, but less directly. Still, many people fall into this trap, and it's the same trap that nearly every big fuck up this year faced. So I'm thinking Celsius, I'm thinking Three Arrows Capital, I'm thinking FTX, you know, and potentially, guys, let's be honest, Ponzi scheme. That's the word. Those are the words even. And potentially even more exchanges and crypto companies that are still standing today. So he's mentioned that on their balance sheet. And as money became more expensive and the cycle turned, their nakedness was exposed for all to see. So this is the part where the Ponzi scheme or pyramid falls apart, right? So this is where Warren Buffett says, you know, the tide moves in and you see who's swimming naked. Or in this case, Arthur Hayes says that when it becomes expensive to get this money, or when the cycles turn, basically when it's no longer sustainable to do this and make money, then there's a hole in your fucking pants, you know, like what the fuck. I mean, you know, now it's now you're in a different arena, you know. Now any bullshit that was there is going to be very, very much abundantly obvious for everybody to see. Sorry guys, one sec. So that is potentially what we were faced with today or recently with FTX. Before we begin, I sincerely believe that SBF is a once-in-a-generation trading talent. Even though he just blew up, the empire he put together took a certain amount of... I cannot pronounce this word. Let me see how this word is pronounced. Panache? Panache? Is that how you pronounce it? Flamboyant confidence of style. Anyway, he did this well. Basically, SBF was a pretty cool, impressive player, and I must give even more kudos to Baron CZ. When the news broke that Binance might acquire FTX, I sent CZ the following message: "I fucking love you, man. Boss move. Much respect." Let's begin. It was all a dream. I used to read CoinDesk magazine. It all started with a CoinDesk article that featured a breakdown of a leaked Alameda balance sheet. The financials make concrete what industry watchers already suspect. This is something that was already suspected. Alameda is big. As of June 30, the company's assets amounted to $14.6 billion. Its single biggest asset, $3.66 billion worth of unlocked FTT. That means FTT tokens that are already available. The third largest entry on the asset aside of the ledger, a 2.16 billion pile of FTT collateral. This is what was interesting about Alameda. That I don't know how deeply you guys have read into this, but what actually happened here was that a lot of people thought Alameda was a really big investment firm, but Alameda is owned by SBF, and SBF is the same guy that owns FTX. So he owns this exchange and he owns this investment fund, and this investment fund is considered to be a very big deal. Why is it considered to be a big deal? Because its company assets amount to roughly $14.6 billion. So it's got a lot of money, basically. Here's where this becomes a bit more of a stinking pile of shit, is that a large amount of this money, I think it was like 6.11 billion US dollars worth of the company's assets, are FTX tokens. They're FTT tokens. So it's how, let me give you guys an analogy for this. It's like let's say I'm Donald Trump's father. This is a bad example. Here we are. We're back on the YouTube channel, guys. This is the Four Flies channel. This is what you know you're getting. You're signing up. You know, you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. You know you're getting bad analogies around the clock. But it's a funny one. So imagine we've got Trump's father, Donald Trump's father, gives a bunch of money to Donald Trump, the man that we know that was president, gives a bunch of money to him upon birth, and then 20 years later, everybody is proclaiming Donald Trump to be a good businessman. I'm not saying this is what happened. Please don't get your fucking panties in a ruffle here, guys. the fucking right wingers, the left wingers. You guys are all crazy. I'm not even like, okay, whatever. But it's like it's given to this young character, and then the young character gets a propped up reputation for something that the young character didn't even do, for something that isn't really an achievement. It's not money that you had to go out and earn. It was just given, and that's kind of where, you know, eyebrows started to raise with this originally. You know, I mean, there was just it didn't really make sense that we would consider Alameda to be such a big deal if they were, you know, just holding a lot of tokens from the same guy that owns the company anyway. Yeah, and an exchange token at that is, you guys know me, I've always been skeptical of this kind of thing. I mean, exchange tokens really, you know, like I said at the beginning of this video, of this live stream, or somewhere close to the beginning, guys, I don't think any altcoin is safe apart from Ethereum, really. I mean, I just don't. I'm sorry, I don't subscribe to the hype. I might be wrong, but I'm happy with where I'm at, and you already know I'm losing way less money than people in altcoins. I've been out of altcoins for a fucking long time, a very, 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 very long time. I've been out of Ethereum for a long time. You know, it's not to say that I saw all of this crazy shit happening, but I absolutely did know that if crazy shit did happen, altcoins would get destroyed. I said that inside of Forfly's VIP. Steps to join are on screen right here. Pause the video, click on these things to get yourself inside, and I've said that publicly on YouTube many times. Smash up the likes if you appreciate that, ladies and gents. Let's go back to this article here, though. Where were we? There are more FTX tokens among its $8 billion of liabilities, $300 million of locked FTT. It's fascinating to see that the majority of the net equity in Alameda business is actually FTX's own centrally controlled, printed out of thin air token, said Corey Clipston, CEO of investment firm Swan Bitcoin, who is known for his critical view of altcoins. So this is basically what I just said. This is what I just said. This guy just said it in a nicer way. This is what I was talking about over the last 5 minutes or so, and altcoins meaning, yeah, cryptos other than Bitcoin. Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison declined to comment. FTX didn't respond to a request for comment. Other significant assets on the balance sheet include $3.37 billion of crypto held and large amounts of Solana's blockchain native token, $300 million of unlocked Solana, $863 million of locked Solana, and $41 million of Solana collateral. Bankman-Fried was also an early investor in Solana. Other tokens mentioned by name are SRM, MAPS, Oxy, FIDA. There is also I haven't heard of any of these. There's also $134 million of cash and equivalents and a $2 billion investment in equity securities. So these are the things that are less interesting. What we're more interested in is the Solana holdings, of which there are 300 million that are already unlocked. So these can be sold, and 863 that can't yet be sold but will be unlocked in the future. This is a lot of potential selling pressure that can come onto the markets, and we've already seen the beginning of that fear. All right, so we've already seen Solana start to crash down pretty heavily in response to that, because people know that there could be a lot of extra supply entering the market now, and that could that could obviously, you know, I mean, if there's a lot of supply entering the market but demand stays the same, or demand drops, and obviously demand is dropping now because people are scared, then we're in a pretty, you know, we're in quite a situation. There we go, guys. Still on 75 hard. Still on 75 hard. Let me know in the comments if you remember me talking about that. That was a long time ago. So CZ essentially forced SBF's hand to acquire FTX by undermining the value of FTT token. Well, that's what I was wondering. That's exactly what I was wondering. I was wondering, because CZ's a fucking smart guy. You know, okay, and I'm not saying that this is what happened. This is a really big allegation to make, and I don't take stuff like that lightly. You know, like I wouldn't just go out and say something like that. But guys, I'm just asking a question. You you know, I mean, shit. You know what I mean? Like, CZ isn't an idiot, and it's one of those things that I was just curious. FTT has obviously fallen through the floor. I think it's trading at like $1 now. No, it's at $3. It's at $3. You know, but it was at, I mean, basically like $25 a couple days ago, right? So pretty bad to say the least. And obviously, you know, when a company is in a weak position, it's easier to buy them. You get a better deal. So, but do I think that happened? I mean, CZ has come out on like at least one, if not two occasions, at least, saying that this wasn't deliberate. I don't know how much we can believe. You know, I watched Crypto Kirby's videos today, and he said something that I really liked, which is you shouldn't really be paying too much attention to what is going around about this news event, because you're probably consuming manipulated information or fake information, or he said misinformation. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's why I almost always don't pay attention to stuff like this. Like, this is the first time that I've spoken about an article in the crypto space for like 18 months, right? I mean, I usually just don't pull up articles and read them in this style, because this kind of information is dangerous to consume, because it's generally going to be misinformation. So, you know, it's very rare that I'll look at stuff like this, but it's interesting because in this case, it's coming from Arthur Hayes, and obviously, I'm keeping a healthy distance from these ideas. I think most people that read this stuff won't do that. They don't know that they should do that. I think that's something to keep in mind. Let's carry on. The majority of the assets on their balance sheet are illiquid FTT tokens and a bunch of shitcoins. Let's break down why FTT is so important to the FTX/Alameda empire. All right, this is Arthur Hayes again. We're gonna get to the more trading related stuff in a minute. If you're enjoying this so far, guys, if you're finding this article talk useful, like if you like this kind of style, by the way, I was thinking of doing more stuff like this on the channel, maybe even shorter reaction videos to news in the space. It seems to be something that people really like right now in crypto. Obviously, I have these opinions, and like, people ask me about them. I was at Tone Vase's financial summit in Bali last week, and you know, everyone always wants to know what I think about these things, but I never actually talk about it on YouTube, because to me, they're just not important. They're not relevant, but people always seem to want to know what I'm thinking. Can you let me know in the comments now, just with a I'm interested, you know, just like write I'm interested in the live chat. You know, throw me a like as well if you haven't done so already. If you find this kind of thing useful, I would really appreciate that, so I know that I should keep doing this. But let's carry on. Per FTT's stated tokenomics, let's open that up. Very interested. Yeah, I'm not interested. Okay. Okay, most people overwhelmingly want more stuff like this. Okay, so we'll do more stuff like this. You want it before it happens? Yeah, of course. Me too. Four Flies, you're the only YouTuber I've come to trust. I'm always interested in your take on new information. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, I mean, generally, I feel like I've been able to develop that reputation to be trustworthy because I don't look at bullshit. But we're gonna get back to the fun stuff, the TA, the charts and stuff like that. We'll get to that in a little bit. But for now, yeah, I think this is an important discussion to have. And the tokenomics aren't here, at least not what I expected to find. Anyway, per their stated tokenomics, FTX has pledged to use 1/3 of all exchange fees to buy back FTT. So that means 1/3 of all of their revenue from exchange fees and so on will go to buying back their token. And the idea here is that this is, in my opinion, almost like a kind of, it's a weird, it's not, the word scammy comes to mind. It's not a scammy thing to do. And that's the thing about FTX and Alameda. Like, nothing that happened here potentially was particularly scammy or like outright illegal or wrong. I mean, ethically, a bunch of it was probably wrong, but just in terms of like point blank, like black and white truths or false, none of it was like necessarily that bad, which I think is something that people aren't even considering with SBF. You know, I'm not trying to say he did the right thing. Someone's going to misinterpret what I've just said there, but I do think that You know, this isn't like what happened to Celsius in that sense, for example. Or, you know, the questionable thing would be lending out the funds of people that have deposited money. You know, that's the questionable thing. If that happened, then yeah, what the fuck? But ultimately, that stuff is probably allowed in the terms and conditions. Probably, I haven't read specific terms and conditions pertaining to this, but I'm sure that even, you know, what we have on pretty much every exchange would allow it. It's standard practice. I don't know about FTX's specific terms. Like I said, I haven't read those, but yeah. SBF owns the majority of Alameda's equity while he continuously dilutes his FTX ownership to ship in capital from VC Muppets. These VC... I love his writing style. I love Arthur Hayes' writing style. These VC Muppets probably didn't realize, or maybe they did, which is even worse for their investors, that a good chunk of FTX's revenue was siphoned from FTX to Alameda through Alameda's large FTT stake. Presumably, Alameda received a large allocation of FTT for providing essential market-making services to FTX and its participation in the FTT initial coin offering. So it's a weird company structure, you know? Like, it's clearly just made to benefit the guys at the top, the shareholders, his family, whatever, if you believe there's shadow people that were controlling him and he's just a puppet. I've heard a bunch of crazy shit in the last 24 hours. But whatever happened, it was a weird structure. Okay, so that's not ideal for FTX investors, but it isn't what struck the death blow to FTX's solvency. The real issue, which folks started to raise questions about in the wake of the CoinDesk article, was whether FTX loaned Alameda money, most likely USD or fiat stablecoins, and used Alameda's FTT stake as collateral. If FTX did loan the funds, that isn't an inherently fatal issue either. This is my point. Like, there's not like black and... So this is my first time I've read this, by the way. Like I said, I read a little bit of this. I didn't read half of it. I don't know why I said I read half. I read a little bit of this article and I was like, I need to stop here and make a YouTube video about this. You know, because I was like, this is... There's so much to discuss about this. And every time I read a new sentence, I was like, I have thoughts about this that I want to share with you guys. I mean, we're at 16.5. Yeah, we are. New low. New low. Bam, look at that. Let's take a look at this. Look at that spike, guys. It's getting really bloody. It's getting really bloody on this chart today. Wow, the heat is turning up, guys. The heat is turning up. Let's get some more people in this live stream, guys. If this is something that that you're enjoying, do me a favor. Come over to my YouTube channel. And let's pump this up a little bit. We're here on Twitter. If you guys don't know my Twitter, it's linked in the description. By the way, like I said, in the description, Bybit is offering you guys a $30,000 fucking bonus. Absolutely insane. There's about 14 days left on this. Go ahead and take advantage of it while it's available. $13,000 deposit blast off offer. And obviously there are some more reasonable ones that are much easier to achieve, like a $100 bonus, a $4,000 bonus, and so on. But 30K, very, very cool. Free money to trade with when you meet their conditions here. Absolutely insane. I mean, that's like 2 Bitcoins right now. What the fuck? That's 2 Bitcoins in deposit bonuses. I've never seen something like this in my life. Definitely very, very cool. Definitely very, very cool. I wanna put a tweet out for this. Live, rational, and level, self-proclaimed, I know, level-headed analysis of the Bitcoin and crypto markets. Tune in, plus drop your questions. Guys, do me a favor. If you're finding this useful so far, I want you guys to retweet this. I don't know if there's anything in particular that I can do to thank you if you do this, but I will be very grateful. And I'm actually just gonna throw this. Well, you guys already know my thing, so just go ahead and retweet it. I don't know. I might do like a giveaway or something after this. We'll see how this goes. Already, what is this? Oh wow, this guy's quick. Look at that. This guy's really quick. Block. Yeah. Why am I struggling to find this? Guys, thank you so much. Yeah, let's get a little bit of engagement on here because we got a good amount of price action right now. 16.5K. I wanted to show you some more stuff on Twitter, by the way, so we're gonna get back to that in a little bit. But yeah, look at that, 16.5k. Again, it's just trapdoors after trapdoors, guys. I mean, there's nothing else. There's nothing else going on here as far as I'm concerned, really. Look at that. Yeah, there's just, I mean, what do you, like, where can you find support? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, where is support on this chart? Look at this dotted orange line. This is where we're trading right now. Let's replay it, right, to over here, and then zoom in onto the 1 hour time frame, and like just you tell me, like, where do you see support? Our current traded price right now is here. This is where we're trading right now, like roughly right here. I mean, this is another drop, like between. Look at this. Okay, I need to take a different chart because this is getting confusing. So if I move us back to here, replay the chart, zoom in onto the 1 hour, and alright, let's get our current price level. So our current price level, if I drop a line to represent it, is about over here. And okay, there are some reversals and consolidation points that are coming up here, but if we do lose this, there isn't really anything else until, I mean, there's something here at 15.1, and there's something here at 13.6, and that 13.6k level looks way more reassuring than 15.1. There just isn't much here, and Bitcoin only spent 30 days of its price history trading here between 2017 and 2018, and then I don't know, a somewhat equivalent time in 2020, but really not that long. Less time in 2020, I'm sure it was less time. So we don't have a lot of price history here, you know. So if we're losing levels like our prior market cycle low, then to me, like that represents losing a very important level. This is the kind of point I've been trying to make, and I guess I've just been struggling to find the words for it. Like, if we lose such an important level, like this prior low that we had right here, if we lose this, then that to me represents a really, really bad sign. And then the kind of support areas we have here, or at 15.1, for example, you know, anywhere between here and 14k, but not including 14k. I don't believe that they're particularly strong or useful support levels. And if they're not, then how can we expect that Bitcoin is going to stop falling when it reaches them? You know, like if we've already lost such an important level, then clearly there's a heavy bearish bias in the market. And if there's a heavy bearish bias in the market, how can, in my opinion, what I'm calling weak support levels help the market stay up? That's what I'm, you know, that's what I'm saying here. That's what I'm saying here. Guys, thank you for the engagement on this. Thank you so much. Love you guys. I think we're going way lower. A bunch of you guys think we're going way lower. Yeah. So anyway, that's my take on this. Let's go back to the article. We'll come back to the price in a minute. I am obviously keeping an eye on the comments as we go along here. Use your support levels as targets for shorts. Yeah, that's what you do if you're in shorts, yeah. Do I think there will be any short-term recovery or no confidence in investors? Nothing goes in a straight line, but you know what we generally get, like if we don't get an immediate recovery, like on the daily time frame that happens very soon, we probably will get one, and it might take a long time. You know, like it might take a few months, and then we come back up here and we capture resistance. You know, like that would be so fucking likely. Like whether we get a recovery tomorrow or in a month or 3 months, I obviously think we're going to get a recovery. You know, it might be that we drop all the way down to 10k and then we kind of grind up and we get back here for May of next year, and then we get a rejection, and then we form a low, and then we come back up, we form a higher low, and then we, you know, and then we come back up, and we're in a trajectory of higher lows, and then this becomes an ascending triangle, and bam, we break out. You know, I mean, that's how market cycles work. So I mean, it's a simple question you're asking, but the answer is a little bit more complicated. Although, to answer you directly, do I think we're going to get a recovery? Absolutely, yes. I think we're going to be setting new all-time highs. I think we're going to go back up to $69,000. Do I think that's going to happen now, or in a little bit, like in a month, but not necessarily too long, not like a year away? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we get retracements. If there's one thing I've learned in these markets, is that we always get retracements, whether we're moving up or we're moving down. Why is 3K impossible? I don't think 3K is impossible. I've said for a while that 3K is on the cards. Anything on the cards, really. It's just about how fearful the market gets. I know it sounds crazy because of mining and a large number of reasons, but ultimately, this is Bitcoin. I mean, there's absolutely anything is possible with Bitcoin. Absolutely anything. All right. That isn't an inherently fatal issue either, the fact that FTX was loaning funds. FTX was free to loan out its retained earnings to whomever it pleased, but the most pressing related concern was whether FTX rehypothecated. What does this mean? Did I even pronounce this correctly? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to understand that definition. Let's just punch this into Google. Is a practice whereby banks and brokers use for their own purposes assets that have been posted as collateral by their clients. So in this case, FTX would use the collateral of Alameda. But the most pressing related concern was whether FTX was using the collateral that Alameda had. Does that make sense? Am I saying this correctly? I don't know. Hypothecated customer deposits to Alameda and took FTT as collateral. This sentence didn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, guys. It's like, what time is it here? Oh, wow. Is it like 6 a.m.? No, it's 5 a.m. here, where I am in the world. It's pretty early. Oh, that means I missed the sunrise. Damn. Okay, that's fine. Actually, the sun is rising right now. Like, right now. Let's open this up. Oh, it's risen. Oh, it's daylight now. Yeah, we're in the trenches today, ladies and gents. We're in the fucking trenches today. It's one of them. It's one of them things. It's because I'm in Australia and I've just been chilling, like meeting. Nice that you always want to catch the sun. I want to watch the sunrise and the sunset. This is what life is about. This is what life is about. I learned the beauty of sunrises in Los Angeles. I'm sorry, sunsets. Yeah, I was just here chilling for a few days, meeting some cool friends and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm not here for too much longer, but it's nice to be on the upside down in the world, on the other side of the world. Yo, shout out to the Aussies. How many Australians are watching this live stream right now? Drop me an Australian flag or just a yes or whatever. Say like I'm Australian. I don't know. I'm curious to know how many of you guys are Australian. Like that are watching right now, because it's 5 a.m. here on the East Coast. And what time would it be for Perth, which is on the opposite side of this basically continent? Australia's huge. Yeah, there's no Australians. Oh, there's a few Australians here. There's a few Australians. Let's go back here. And as a subset of that, whether the fall in the value of FTT or some of the shitcoins on Alameda's balance sheet would thus render Alameda insolvent. And finally, another concern, if Alameda became insolvent, would FTX lend money from client funds to prop it up? This means deposits. Again, these are the questions that people began asking after this article came out. This is what's confusing to me. Nothing in this article was new information. It just happened to release on that day, and to me, like, I don't know. This is how I was taught in school. It's a very, very good function of the history A level. Shout out to those of you in the UK that have studied or are studying history as an A level. A level means like our exams before university. It's like my favorite experience in school that I probably ever had, because it really taught me how to look at information like this and be skeptical. And the first thing that, and it's about the information, but it's also everything around the information. You really just be very skeptical of whoever wrote something. And why was it published at this time? That's just my question. Like, it's not like the 7th of November or whatever day came along and something particularly bad happened on that day. Like, if all of this is true, this would have been true for some amount of time. Why did it only come out 2 days ago? That's, like, nobody's asking that question. And that's what I'm curious about. Did the fear ingredient? Yeah, we got 5 hours left for this update. So let me throw this back. Don't want too much sunlight. Aussie living in Vanuatu. I've heard of this place before. Where is it? Does Tone still think bull market is back on this year? He certainly thinks this is the last dump, as far as I can remember. Why is FTT going up? Is it? How can FTT be going up? It's at $3, mate. I don't think FTT is going up. Yeah, I'm not seeing any up, mate. I'm sorry. I'm not seeing any up for FTX. FTT even. Oh, this was a bit of a pump, to be fair, but this kind of volatility, this was like 5%, I'm sorry, 26% in like a few minutes. This kind of volatility is to be expected right now. It's a bad time to be in these to be in these kind of coins. Lucas Nuzzi has an interesting theory on the connection between FTX, Alameda, and FTT. In short, he argues that Alameda blew up alongside 3 Arrows Capital. This is the most compelling argument that I've heard so far, and this has been circulating among closed circles in the crypto space, especially today. Let's bring you guys a little bit closer because I want to be a little bit more relaxed. See what else we got here in the comments as I'm going on. Guys, thank you all for smashing up those likes. Look at that. We got 400 likes and 600 viewers. That ratio is amazing. That ratio is amazing. And I'm surprised that YouTube is... maybe it's the time zone. I don't know. It's not a... No, this is a good time to be live. I don't know what it is. In short, he argues that Alameda blew up alongside 3 Arrows Capital and others, but FTX lent Alameda money to survive in exchange for FTT tokens due to Alameda via its participation in the FTT ICO. Then CZ struck, and this is where, you know, the conspiracy theories of CZ trying to dismantle everything started to come about. CZ says in a tweet, as part of Binance's exit from FTX equity last year, Binance received roughly $2.1 billion USD equivalent in cash, Binance USD, BUSD, and FTT. Due to recent revelations that have come to light, we've decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on our books. So, a subset of this $2.1 billion. We'll try to do so in a way that minimizes market impact due to market conditions and limited liquidity. We expect this will take a few months. I don't need to read this. You guys probably already read this by now, and if you haven't, just pause the live stream. Presumably, CZ read the same article as everyone else and decided to dump Binance's sizable FTT stake in the market. There was also apparently some beef between the two crypto barons. Ryan, I don't know how to pronounce this name, Salame? Been an absolute pleasure watching CZ have the extremely difficult but transformative debate on Twitter this past week to ensure the crypto industry moves forward in the best way possible. SBF, excited to see him repping the industry in DC going forward. Is he allowed to go to DC? That's funny. Do I need to read these one sec? Yeah, this is CZ defending his decision. They actually, Binance or CZ specifically, I don't know which one, actually had an early investment in FTX. This is where they got this equity from that he is describing up here. So that's some prior context that you may or may not have known. This goes deep, guys. Like, this is, I don't usually pay attention to stuff like this, but this stuff is going deep, and that's why I found it very interesting. Once CZ started airing his concerns, though, alarm bells started ringing in the heads of FTX depositors. In crypto, when you have even an inkling that an exchange might be insolvent, you pull your funds out immediately and ask questions later. Same thing I've been saying to you guys on all of these videos and live streams. This is why you need backup accounts, backup exchanges, and fuck's sakes, you need to take your money off exchanges if you're not trading with it. I've been saying this for a very, very long time. Logic suggests that even if Alameda went bust, FTX should suffer no issues processing all withdrawals. I would believe this, but there's reason not to. They're two separate companies, and according to SBF's claims, FTX's customer deposits weren't reinvested, and not even in super duper safe US treasuries. SBF coming out here on the line and specifically saying FTX has enough to cover all client holdings, yet withdrawals are disabled, and they might still be disabled right now. I'm not actually sure, but I think they are. I haven't heard that withdrawals have began again. Not your key, not your crypto. Bang on correct, absolutely. Elliot's asking where? You know, if you're taking your money off exchanges, the best place you can put them is in some sort of cold wallet that can't be hacked. And you know, if you don't know how to safely store Bitcoin, then you need to Google it and learn about it. That's a big subject. If you're not prepared to learn about stuff like that, then point blank, you just shouldn't be here. You should pack up your shit and take your money right back to JP Morgan and Chase, because that's where you belong if you're not interested in learning how to safeguard your capital. There's no space for people that will rely on centralized custodians for crypto in this space. I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you. If I'm the first person to say this to you, then I hope that you can go back and really seriously consider who you've been getting your information from since you joined the space, because they clearly don't have your best interest in mind. They either don't know or don't want to tell you, and both are inexcusable. You know, if you're trying to learn from somebody and they haven't warned you about these two things yet, I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, how seriously can you take them? Yeah, I'm quite passionate about this, as you can tell. I mean, keeping money safe is a very important thing to me, and it's my top priority when I'm inside of the Four Flies VIP group as well, which is of course every day. But whenever I'm making trades and so on, I'm telling VIP members about what I'm doing. My top priority is always keeping capital safe, capital preservation. Way too much sunlight coming in, but I can't reach this. Fuck's sakes. I can't reach this. I need to get up. All right. Let's see what else we have here. So this is just him trying to dispel the drama. It doesn't really work, unfortunately. At this point, there was no reason to believe SBF was lying, but even still, you ain't gonna wait around to find out with your money on the line, and therefore capital started sprinting for the exits. As always, he who sells first sells best. Those who immediately withdrew their funds, and I was immediately warning you guys to do this like backup stuff and like spread out your risk. I was saying this very quickly after the drama. So again, those of you that were watching that video, hopefully this was good for somebody and saved at least one person. I was saying this before the crash even started. You know, and I hope that I haven't heard many of you guys getting fucked on this, thankfully. Many people across the space have gotten destroyed with this, just like with Celsius and Luna. But I have found that generally with this YouTube channel, obviously because we're much more grounded in reality, we don't screw around with stuff like this. So generally we're protected from it, you know, so that's really nice, and I'm very glad to see that. But as Monday bled into Tuesday, FTX's withdrawal processing crawled to a halt, and all the while FTT continued to plunge in price. The market was clearly trying to sniff out whether there was an FTT margin call triggered to punish Alameda for overextending themselves. I woke up on Tuesday to many messages from friends spreading rumors speculating that FTX may have been playing funny with the customer money. I prayed to Lord Satoshi that FTX had not dipped their hands in the customer cookie jar. This means he's praying that they didn't start loaning out customer deposits. And then this bombshell hit the electromagnetic sphere. Hey all, I have a few announcements to make. Things have come full circle, and FTX's first and last investors are the same. We have come to an agreement on a strategic transaction with Binance for FTX.com. Basically saying Binance is potentially going to be buying FTX pending due diligence. This insane announcement provided probable answers for many questions. Did FTX rehypothecate customer funds or euphemistically use said funds effectively? We don't have a definitive answer to this question, but Binance signed a non-binding letter of intent to purchase the entirety of FTX and pledged to attempt to make whole all customer deposits. So to make good on those customer deposits. If people want to withdraw, to let them withdraw. That suggests that FTX experienced a run on its deposits and was unable to fill all the withdrawal requests of its customers. Otherwise, why would FTX need a bailout from Binance? Good question to ask. I don't know either. FTX could have blown all their VC Muppet dry powder propping up Alameda, but that still wouldn't have impaired their ability to meet withdrawals, unless they were dipping into the honeypot, so unless they were actually taking customers' funds and loaning them out. Two big lessons. Never use a token you created as collateral, fairly obvious. Don't borrow if you run a crypto business. Don't use capital efficiently, have a large reserve. For as much of the beef as I have with this guy, he's constantly very fucking smart, saying all the right things, and I love to love him too. I do. I love to love him. This guy is a very, very good figure in the space overall. I think I really do believe that. I love that he is saying this. He's the biggest player in the space, and he's saying this. It's great. He could have chose to be like all the other boring CEOs that don't really communicate and that don't really set particularly impressive industry standards, but that's not what CZ is doing. So I think he believes he deserves a little bit of credit there. Two big lessons. I wonder which situation he could be referring to. Baron CZ clearly seems to be insinuating that FTX may have done some improper things with customer funds, and thus, when the bank run happened, they were caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Over the last week, $1 billion of FTX of the deposits fled FTX. This is what precipitated this awful turn of events. These are only the withdrawals that were processed. We do not know how many poor souls were still waiting for their money back. Quite a lot. Is Alameda insolvent or bankrupt? We don't have a definitive answer to this question. However, if FTX required a bailout from Binance and it was needed because of the financial help that FTX supposedly provided Alameda, then we can assume Alameda is probably donezo as well. I'll leave you with these words from Caroline Ellison, CEO of Alameda. Nothing like, oh, this is 2021, let's see what we're talking about here. Nothing like regular amphetamine use to make you appreciate how dumb a lot of normal, non-educated human experience is. So that looks like she's bragging about amphetamine use. Okay. My first time reading this. The second dumbest thing, same day, is apparently there's about 20% of my brain that's dedicated to food. She tweeted this on the same day she tweeted about cocaine use. I wonder if she was... Is the word high? Is that what you say for cocaine use? I wonder if she was high on cocaine at that time. Whatever else is happening throughout the day, it's just a significant percentage of my thoughts dedicated to what should I do for dinner. How about, why is he highlighting this? Right. Okay. I guess he's trying to call her stupid. Interesting move. Again, this is why I like Adderall probably. Sure. Okay, yeah, I'm sure that's what she means. I'm sure she means Adderall. Yeah, not like meth or something. Will the deal actually close? A non-binding LOI is nice, but a firm commitment by Binance to purchase FTX and ring-fence all its liabilities would be nicer, and they haven't done that. I imagine that Binance's corporate finance folks are busy digging through the financials of FTX and Alameda. If the hole is too big, and there are rumors that it is too big, and Binance isn't going to do that, by the way, these rumors have started to break in the last few hours, then I expect Binance will walk away from the deal. And if Binance can't or won't do the deal, no one will be able to swallow the losses billowing from FTX. What happens if FTX can't find a new home? Similar to Mt. Gox, we'll probably enter yet another high-profile bankruptcy situation where the depositors queue up to recover what they can. This could be a long or short process, but the US government is now involved in this, by the way, as well. But given how complex I imagine the holdings of FTX to be, recovery of any portion of deposits will likely take a very long time. It always takes a long time. This is really bad. That's obviously a travesty in and of itself, but when looking at the broader market impact, the even bigger question is which companies that run crypto loan books had exposure to FTX and or Alameda? This means who else could be vulnerable now that these guys are going down? This is one of the things that triggered chain reactions when Celsius and so on had the drama earlier this year. SBF was the most pristine credit in all of crypto. He was the IT crypto pioneer. His beautiful cherub visage. Am I pronouncing these things right? adorned the most prestigious mainstream financial magazines. His skin glistened like someone who only ate carrots and cucumbers. He could do no wrong. Investing alongside anything SBF touched was a sure path to riches. Look at that Solana boom. Everyone was hailing him as a big figure. So this all makes sense. SBF even got Tom Brady to YOLO into FTX. You can therefore imagine that if FTX potentially used customers' funds to save Alameda, that both entities probably cashed in on their sterling reputation to borrow as much money as they could in order to stay alive in their dying months. And therefore, it's very possible that this possible default has already infected the loan books of the remaining major centralized lenders. In light of this potentially significant exposure, the question becomes, can the largest centralized lenders survive? Number one, can't stop, won't stop Jay Powell, who is determined to break inflation by continuing to raise short-term interest rates and reduce the size of the Fed's balance sheet. Number two, bankruptcy of FTX and Alameda. Issues 1 through 3 already deeded legendary centralized lenders such as Celsius, BlockFi, and Voyager. There are a few possible zombies remaining. I will not name them here, but anyone who thinks critically can surmise who might come under pressure next. FTX and Alameda biting the dust is bad enough. That is our Lehman Brothers. But who is AIG? Who's Countrywide? I haven't heard of any of these names. I think I should know them. They're out there hiding in plain sight. Are these what was going on in 2008? I might have been too young for this. Yeah, this is all. So he's basically drawing analogies to 2008. See if there was a lot of news of them back then. Combined $47 billion in their single-family mortgage businesses. Yeah, so he's basically just highlighting the big US-based companies that went bust in 2008 and where those remaining players might be in the space, because yeah, they're probably not done yet. The bottom of the S&P 500 during the 2008 global financial crisis wasn't reached until March 2009. That was many months after the Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, and every single independent US investment bank received money from Warren Buffett or was gobbled up by a commercial bank who could legally access the Fed's discount winder. I don't know. It was after Treasury Secretary Paulson supposedly bent the knee to Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi in order to secure the passage of the Troubled Asset Relief Program, aka let's print some fucking money and hand it to the banksters. And finally, it was after Nobel laureate Ben Helicopter Money Bernanke, this guy's writing style, phenomenal, announced the Fed would engage in quantitative easing. While I'm extremely bullish on the prospects of crypto in 2023, I know the date keeps slipping, but I reserve the right to change my mind in the face of market conditions. 100% agree. 100% agree. I believe that we're about to trade to new lows as everyone wonders which crypto household name will go bankrupt next for lending money to FTX/Alameda. Bitcoin wicked down to almost 17.5k on BitMEX's XBT. On various other spot exchanges, Bitcoin experienced similar falls to levels close to 17k. Get ready for lower for longer because it's coming. But the good thing about crypto is that no central bank will be riding the rescue with freshly printed fiat shitcoins to bolster the balance sheets of reckless companies. Let me repeat that. The good thing about crypto is that no central bank will be riding the rescue with freshly printed fiat shitcoins to bolster the balance sheets of reckless companies. What does this mean? When you fuck up in crypto, this is a free market. You're not getting bailed out from the government. When you fuck up, you can't repeat those mistakes. You're just going to die. Done. It has good sides and it has bad sides. You know, the bad sides means that the people, the customers, they're not getting relief either. You know, at least when the government steps in, customers get a little bit of relief, whether it's temporary or ineffective, they get something. This doesn't happen in crypto, but it means that they can't repeat the same mistakes. Bad actors get flushed out. That's what happens at times like this. This is what is happening right now. The crypto industry will be forced to devour its humble pie quickly, leading to a speedier recovery that leaves it stronger than ever. This is always what happens. This is always what happens, ladies and gents. Before I end this essay, let me be clear. Centralized exchanges will always face these issues of mistrust on behalf of their customers. FTX was not the first high-profile exchange to fail, and it won't be the last. But throughout all this, blocks on the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all other blockchains were still produced and verified. Decentralized money and finance have and will continue to survive and thrive in the face of failures and centralized entities. Fucking love this guy. Sound is going in and out. Anyone else getting that? There's a sound issue? How's my sound? Sound is fine on my side. I think it's just you, Rebecca. What a great article from Arthur Hayes. Really summarizes so many of the things that I've been feeling as well. Because ultimately, guys, all this shit is going on with these centralized companies, but the decentralized nature of Bitcoin and the blockchain and so on, these are sound. They're working. You know, like there's no problems here. I actually just want to highlight PalmSwap to you guys. I don't know if it's linked in the, yeah, it is. PalmSwap is a decentralized exchange for crypto. They're well worth checking out at a time like this right now, guys. Check them out right here. If you check out that link, there's a fair bit going on with PalmSwap. They're a decentralized perpetual protocol built on Binance Smart Chain. Basically, what this means is you can trade crypto on leverage, decentralized with PalmSwap. It's not something that I'm using yet, but it is something that I'm excited for, and I'm excited to see how that ends up looking. No problem, Rebecca. Good that you're back. Yeah, some people saying that a restart helps. It was a YouTube issue, fixed when I closed the app and came back in. Perfect. Perfect. That's good. That's good news. So that's the article. Very, very interesting. Now that that's done, what do you think of that? You guys want to see me do more of that? And also, let's go back to your questions. Let's see what else we have here in the way of questions. It's been a good live stream so far. We've been live for about an hour and a half. Yeah, about an hour and a half we've been live for, and might look to wrap this one up fairly soon. Maybe go through some more questions. Luna is pumping hard, really? Do people even look at the Luna chart anymore? Like, what the fuck are you doing? No, Luna's not pumping hard. Luna's not pumping hard. Come on. Let's not be silly. This isn't a hard pump. 1.6 up to 1.7. That's like not even 10%. Yeah, if you're having sound issues, just restart your app. It seems to be a recurring issue right now. It seems to be an issue on YouTube's side. Luna Classic. I don't know about Luna Classic. Not really something I want to look at, to be honest. Might just call it a stream there, actually. 90 minutes. It's been a little while. My throat's not happy. A lot of non-stop talking. I mean, you guys have heard the analysis already. Do I think miners will capitulate soon? They might have been capitulating in this move, honestly. They might have. We don't know that. We probably won't know until tomorrow, until there's some good on-chain data. Actually, that data should be available right now. We don't have to wait until tomorrow for that. Yeah, I'll probably just call it a stream there, guys. Don't wanna start looking at shitcoins like Sheep and Polkadot and so on. If we have any final questions, let me know. Drop them now. Otherwise, I probably will get going. Shout out to Jens for ordering a ledger this morning. Very good. I love seeing people be responsible with their finance. It's the right thing to do, of course. I do have to say, we're not falling as quickly as you would expect, you know, with something like this. So I think this is something that is potentially, if there's anything that's a silver lining, it is potentially going to be that. The only thing that's still bothering me is just everybody is in fucking agreement that we're seeing 14K, and it's hard for me to expect that we're going to do that if everybody is agreeing with the same kind of sentiment. You know, to me, that's always going to be a red flag. Always has been and always will be. Do you prefer entries inside key levels, or do you like waiting for prices to bounce in or out of such levels? I don't know what that question means, bro. Can you ask that again, and can you rephrase that? Do I think projects like Polkadot will also die? Most of them will die, dude. I don't know anything about Polkadot from a tech perspective, and it doesn't matter to me. Most of them will die. Absolutely. Most of them do die. It's not like, do I think? It's already happening. It's already happened. Just look at like what was peaking in on CoinMarketCap back in 2017, 2018, and look at what's peaking now. It's not the same coins. I mean, in terms of like the top 20, top 50. Market makers are just luring everyone into shorts. Yeah, I would like to think so, but that's... I don't know. At some point, you just have to admit that bad things are happening in the market. Did I leave Dubai? No way. Oh, why did I leave Dubai? I didn't leave. I wouldn't leave. It's one of the best places in the world. At least I feel, to live in. I wouldn't leave. Binance is said to be likely to walk away from the deal to buy FTX. Yeah, these rumors have been spreading for a little bit. Been watching you since the beginning. You have sure come a long way. Congrats, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shout out to OG420 Obi. What a legend. DOT has amazing fundamentals. Yeah, like Luna, right? Or Solana. Tell me what other shitcoins have amazing fundamentals. Tell me how they're so unique. Go on. See what I mean? Like, it doesn't fucking matter. That they all have good fundamentals, and then they don't. It's ultimately the only thing that actually has really good fundamentals that stood the test of time is Bitcoin, and better and not so good, but still, still pretty good overall is Ethereum. Do I go to USC fights? No, not really my thing. My favorite ice cream flavor, probably just vanilla, mate. It's not about the ice cream for me. It's about what goes with the ice cream. You know, like if there was a little slice of cake or something, that's naughty. Like a nice fucking hot fudge cake. Oh my god. I wish I could have a dessert right now. You know, like this fucking 75 hard challenge. It's been, I think, what am I on, like fucking day 45 now or something? Day 45 out of 75. 2 workouts a day. 1 of them outside every day. No cheat meals, no alcohol. Following a nutrition plan. I just want some carbs, for fuck's sakes. Oh, legends. What's going on? Would I prefer placing trade entries inside key support resistance levels, or do I wait for the price to break below or bounce off such levels? Both. So you're asking, would I trade a short off a resistance level, or would I trade a momentum trade? If we break the level, then I just jump in for a long. I do both. The lowest I think we're going, 3K, but I don't think we're going anywhere near that low. But I don't know. What do I know? I'm a trader. I'm not I mean, I am an investor too, but my expertise isn't in investing. I'm good at being a trader. I'm good at the short term moves. So whether we go down or we go up, I'm gonna make money trading the market. I mean, like I said today, I took 2 completely degenerate trades. I'm not proud of it at all. I did make money. I'm not gonna do it again. It wasn't smart. But ultimately when the market is going up, I trade long, and when the market is going down, I trade short, and I anticipate making money in both directions. Do I think we're going to 3K? No. But is that the absolute lowest I think we can go? Yes. But it doesn't. I don't think we're going anywhere near there. I didn't really even think that we would go down to 16.8. So I don't know. Would it be possible to create a new coin and be the market maker on that market? Absolutely. Seems like everybody does that these days. What happens to Markel Sailor if it drops below 10k? I mean, doesn't he just keep getting margin called? I don't know. Do I have respect for Algorand? I have no respect for any altcoin project. None. 0. Ethereum is the exception. Done. USDT, maybe. Doesn't really count as an altcoin though. I don't really care about Binance Coin. Is pretty cool too, but it's an exchange token, so it's inherently questionable. I'm just not nice to these coins, guys. I just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, just leave me alone. Like, I'm a Bitcoin maxi. I'm happy. Like, why do I need to like all of your shit coins? You like your shit coins. Good for you. Trade them. Hold them. Enjoy them. Use them. But I don't care. I don't care, guys. Algorand is the official FIFA World Cup blockchain sponsor. As if this stuff is relevant, though. Oh, it is Algorand. Nice. As if this stuff is relevant, though. You know, like, I don't understand why people would care about this. Like, can you tell? Have you seen the people that go to watch football in stadiums? All right, like, go look at the people that watch football in stadiums. Go have a conversation with them and ask them, do you give a fuck about Algorand? Like, no one cares. No one cares. Like, I don't understand these really high-profile collaborations like Tom Brady or BitGet just recently did one with Messi. Okay, this stuff is cool. They're spending money. Clearly, they can afford it. They're doing well. You know, Bybit did some stuff as well with F1, although F1's cool. F1 makes sense to me. F1 makes a lot more sense than like football. Football's just random. F1 is like, okay, there's a lot of money in there. Like cricket, okay, there's a lot of money in there. Football too, but it's a different audience. Like, none of these like high profile sponsorships make sense to me, other than proving that they just have money to spend, which, okay, sure, but it's not really something that makes the exchange look good. It doesn't necessarily make them look bad. It can make them look bad, but it definitely doesn't make them look good. Yeah, it's a beautiful harmony. See, I don't care about these altcoins. These altcoins don't care about me. I have a happy life not thinking about them. You know, they're just not relevant to me. It's like CRO with the Staples Center in Los Angeles. If they could rename the damn Staples Center and tank any partner coin can. What? And tank any... That's really weird grammar. I don't understand what you said. But yeah, that was a weird one. You know, was it Staples Center became like Crypto.com Arena? Like, who the fuck cares? People still call it the Staples Center in LA. Crypto.com Arena, yeah. People still call it Staples Center. Like, this is literally the equivalent of an unattractive, completely socially inept guy trying to go to a hot girl and get attention, just waving around a bunch of cash and just hoping that it works and still going unnoticed. That's what's happening with all of these crypto companies that are just taking up weird fucking sponsorships. That's what's happening. Tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me how I'm wrong. Cliff edge for Cardano. I mean, what is it gonna do if it drops below 30 cents? It's got nothing. They're all on cliff edges. Bitcoin too. Ethereum, no, surprisingly. Ethereum isn't. I think reaction rally shorts are going to be something to consider. That's probably going to be one of the things I'm looking at. What's going on, Magic Mike? You're the Mike I met in the financial summit. How you doing, man? That's awkward. You still got CC in your name. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into a debate about Algorand or Ethereum because I'm not in that stuff. You know, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I'm a derivatives trader. Like, I'm not a tech guy. I don't care. I just don't. You know, if Algorand ends up exceeding Ethereum in market cap and becoming a bigger coin, then I'll pay more attention to it and I'll trade it more. But right now it isn't as big, and I don't care because I'm a derivatives trader, not an investor in crypto technologies. You know, like I'm a Bitcoin guy and I'm a derivatives trader, and that's it. That's it. So, and that mindset has saved me from losing so much money that it's not even funny. Fuck me, right? I like to keep my money safe. Doing well, bro. I just need to know long or short, mate. That is the question, isn't it? That is the question. Apparently a little bit of everything. Exchanges are printing money. Guys, look at this. Binance is still so heavily long. There's 2.84 longs for every short position on Binance right now. Bybit majority short, but only by a little bit. And again, FTX doesn't really matter anymore, but also majority short. That's in the last 24 hours, of course. It's just a bad time to be trading right now. I mean, I don't see any reason to like really get your hands too dirty at the moment. It's yeah. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. If you have enjoyed this live stream, you know what to do. Do me a favor, smash up the smash up the likes. Smash up the likes. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. Go get your bonus, guys. Bybit offering up to 30k. What the fuck? Honestly, this is crazy. Go get your $30,000 if you've got a casual 250k to deposit onto Bybit. That is a lot of money to get as a bonus. Check it out with the link in the description, and you can, I mean, even if you don't have 250k, there's a lot of bonuses here that you can get depending on your, generally depending on your deposit size. Obviously not everybody will get this, but it's fairly easy to trigger these. You know what I mean? You only have to deposit more than $1,000 to start getting bonuses. So, you know, this is free money that you can trade with and do whatever you like with. Yeah, a lot of cool welcome gifts and so on. So guys, check this out. Bybit offering you guys a lot of cool stuff. And what the fuck? How did I come into Bali? You always talked bad about getting... Oh, no I didn't. No I didn't. I thought you said getting a job. I was like, no I didn't. But nah, I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm fine. I didn't do that. I mean, I've always been what's the word? An encourager for people to think with a sovereign mind, you know, for free thinkers. That's what I did. But yeah, it was never something that not really something I judge people for or anything like that. It's not my business ultimately. Like that's what it came down to. Like it doesn't, you know. So guys, yeah, I'm gonna call it a stream here. If you've enjoyed this one, you know what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. Go get your bonus with Bybit. Check out BitGet as well, available with no KYC and no VPN. And VIP if you want to join right here. These are the steps on screen. there you go, guys. Really hope you've enjoyed this one. And no, my stream was already ending. I've been saying I'm going for like half an hour, mate. Trust me, it wasn't you. It's like, what time is it here? It's 5:30 a.m. It's 5:30 a.m. It's time for me to go to bed. that's what's happening here. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I'll see you. I'm gonna make many more videos as this keeps going. So yeah, just double check that you are subscribed, and maybe even more live streams. This one was pretty good. So maybe even more live streams. Am I in Australia? Yes, sir, I am. I am in Australia. Yeah, it's pretty cool here. I love you anyway as well, man. Yeah, I'll see you all in the next video, live stream, whatever it is. Cheers.